Tonight's big story at 5 is one you'll only see on News 5. We ride along with Mobile police officers as they go after suspected drug dealers.
Operation Cleaning the Corridor focused on the Highway 90 area after getting complaints from people who live nearby. And as News 5's Asher Red saw firsthand, MPD clamped the cuffs on more than just drug dealers.
When it comes to busting suspected drug dealers, the Mobile Police Department says that the element of surprise is crucial. We can't show you their faces, but you will hear the voice of the team's lieutenant.
We really want to stay together if we can. We're not going to run any red lights or nothing, but it's not that kind of morning.
And off we go. Destination, the Beverly Motel on Highway 90.
We have been getting multiple complaints from the neighborhoods and residents near these hotels about the crime, about the people walk in and things like that.
The objective here is to knock down 2 doors, search the rooms, and detain those in the rooms.
So what's happening now is they get all the people's information because we have to put that on our search warrant, everybody that was in the house.
And the list of what officers are looking for is a long one.
Contraband, drugs, paraphernalia, proof of drug sales such as ledgers or cash.
With endless possibilities of where they could be hidden.
In a hotel room like this, some of the most popular places are going to be like under bed mattresses, under pillows, just typical where you could get it and go.
After only a few minutes of searching, officers found exactly what they're looking for.
That's the biggest meth rock I've ever seen right there. That's it. That's the load right there.
The lieutenant says this operation targets what's called street-level drug dealers.
We're not talking about Pablo Escobar in here. You know, these are people that they're inundating the streets with these drugs. You know, people drive in, get served, and then drive out.
And behind one of the doors, police say they found children within reaching distance of drugs.
Often we find that drugs and drug paraphernalia are left where kids can reach it. So we end up having to charge child endangerment.
This isn't the first time that officers have been to this property either.
Eventually, this owner is going to get tired of this, and he'll do something about it, you know.
But behind these doors, according to the lieutenant, isn't always a drug dealer.
None of these people actually service drugs, but what they do is they let drug dealers come to their room and sell for them. The drug dealers will pay them to allow them to sell from their rooms.
After what this team calls a successful bust, they begin shifting their attention to the prostitution in the area.
What's the dangers with prostitution that a lot of people would easily overlook?
So the issue with prostitution is that it is illegal to pay for sex, but the secondary issue is that it brings in other crime and drug use with that. Prostitutes are also used by pimps to lure people in to be robbed, or the prostitutes themselves may rob a John that came to meet them.
The lieutenant says that for some prostitution suspects, this isn't their first arrest.
She's a freaking fly. I don't recognize her, but I guarantee you, I've been on an operation where I've run an operation where she got picked up on it before.
And for the final warrant in this operation, this team is pulling out one more tool in their toolbox. They're letting the dogs out.
These rooms are nasty, and if they don't have to put a dog in them, they won't.
And the final day of this operation brings us right here to the Bama Motel, also on Highway 90.
Oh, at this point, they're got.
And then they hit jackpot.
That's a good piece of crap.
And this team arrests more than they came for.
So it looks like both of these people we have in custody here are the targets. She's going to jail because she had like paraphernalia in her purse and stuff like that.
Captain Jonathan Lee oversees these operations, and he doesn't mind being on camera. In fact, he says that his job doesn't end when a suspect is booked into Metro Jail.
We want that just to kind of be the beginning in a lot of ways. Each precinct commander has community action groups within their precinct.
Do you think it's possible for these people to get back on their feet?
Yes, absolutely. Drugs can be really hard. You're going to see what you've seen is recovery of ice, crack cocaine, things of that nature. And those drugs, especially ice, can be really hard to turn around, but it can be done.
Hopefully it will those folks will turn around their lives. Asher joins us now in the studio.
And Asher, I know you tell us that a lot of this action's at the Beverly. You tried to talk to the owner of the hotel.
Yeah, I did multiple times, by the way. I showed up there today just to get video and to approach the manager. Now, as I was setting up my camera and getting a few shots, a man who people say was the manager started approaching me. And I took a few steps towards him, and he left and got another man to confront me instead. And at this point, I didn't know what to expect, but this is what happened. Is that the manager right there?
Yes, it is.
Could I speak with him? I'll have to ask a question to him anyways.
Oh.
Perfect. Let me,
If he knew what you were doing, he wouldn't send me to ask you.
okay, I'll ask him.
Use common sense, man.
I understand. Let me.
You can't understand.
Now at this point, I didn't feel safe going onto that property, so I waited to see if that manager would meet me in an adjacent parking lot to maybe answer some questions, which he didn't do that. Now, while the unknown man had no business knowing what I intended to ask that manager, it seemed as if this man wanted me to call the hotel before I came there, which, as we know, isn't how journalists do things, but to do my due diligence, I made that call.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Please hang up. Are you still there? Goodbye.
So this 3-month operation landed 22 people behind bars, which we see behind us. Now we have all those charges. They range from drug distribution to drug trafficking, even to prostitution. Now we posted all of those names, the booking photos, and the charges online at WKRG.com. The police are still looking for a handful of people from this operation. I'll break those down coming up at 6 o'clock.
All right. Thank you very much, Asher. And we will have more information on Operation Cleaning the Corridor when you search Mobile Police on WKRG.com.